My name is Vijay Singh. I run Rajputana Custom Motorcycles. We've been doing this work, we've been building bikes for about 10-11 years now. And today we've collaborated with Trip Machine to walk you through my favorite builds. A bike like Ranisa usually takes us 2 months, but since that was the first one that we did, it took us about 6 months to do. Ranisa was a 500cc Royal Enfield, built on the newer model, the unit construction engine. This was for a client of ours called Sandeep Ji, and he was very keen on having a Royal Enfield redone, customized to have an element of Rajasthan in it, and he was very keen on having motifs of maybe the artwork that we have, like Bunny Thani, the famous Kishangarh school painting of that one lady. So we had that on the gas cap as one side, and we had a Rajasthani man on the other side. So that was a cool part about it. It had 2 gas caps, it had a customized tank, a satin silver grey paint job. All in all, it was a bobber, so it had balloon tires on it. I mean, just slightly more higher profile tires, so 5x16s on it. We did a front end on that bike to make it look a little more beefier. It had a small micro switch. It had a lot of small knickknacks on the bike that you can't see, when you first walk up to the bike. Leather grips, leather footrest, extended swing arm. It had a bunch of stuff on it. I mean, all in all, it was a bike that spoke of our aesthetic, where we like to use greys and silvers. It also had a fair amount of brass and leather on the bike. So I think as a complete piece, it really came out well and the client was happy with it. I'd say one of the bikes that is very close to me is a BSA M20. This was a Second World War bike. It was a 500cc. We like to call it Lado. Lado being like your favorite, aapki ladli. And that's why we named it that. It was the first restoration project that I had done, and I had found this bike in a very uncanny way. I was actually spending time with a British gentleman who does jewelry and stonework in Jaipur, and he works, he has a really good sense of design, and he's been doing this for like 30 years now. And I'd gone to visit his factory and to see his workspace and how he references things and how he gets influenced, and what his whole process is. And while at his factory, we were just doing the rounds of the factory, and behind just some planks of wood, I saw a little like headlight sticking out. And I asked him if that was a complete motorcycle. I didn't know if it was just a headlight or a bike. When we actually, literally got away the cobwebs and all the dust, we saw a BSA M20 there that had been lying there for many years that even he didn't know about. He was more than happy to get rid of that bike. I paid him a fair sum of money, threw it in the Jeep, got it back home that very day, and started to work on it. About a year later, we had that whole bike restored. Again, we had worked on the front suspension, the frame, the engine gearbox, you name it. Ordered a bunch of parts from England. Even though it had a few teething issues, since we weren't so good at restorations at that time, over the years we worked with a few more people, and it runs great. It was just a really nice, badass bike. It was olive green, war themed, so to speak. It had Avon tires on there, which were far thicker and fatter than the stock. We had to extend that front girder to even accommodate that tire. And once that bike got running, I mean, it was just a pure thrill to ride. But I'd say it heats up so much that I'd only ride it in the winters. Original Gangster, also known as OG, was the first bike I ever built. At this point, this was 2009, I had just come back from university, finished my degree in mass communication and journalism. So when I came back from college that time, I had about a few months to kill before I, joined a job in the media industry in Bombay. And during that time, I went and, I had this idea of doing a summer project for myself. I wanted a bike for myself, but the stock Royal Enfield didn't excite me as much, even though it had just come out with the new, RE had come out with that unit construction engine that time. So it was a beautiful engine. We wrote to the company. We had a few emails and letters exchanged and a few phone calls back and forth just to make sure who was this guy, why did he want just an engine? Because that's all I was asking for, was a blank engine. And I assured them it was just a personal project. I was not going to scrutinize their work or write about it on a blog or anything at that time. So they were nice enough to send me that block. I got hold of my dad's old race mechanic and fabricator, Shakurji. Now Shakurji is a stalwart when it comes to working on rally bikes and motocross bikes. He's been building swing arms and suspensions and stronger frames for these bikes for quite some time now. So he's very, very good with his metal work. His understanding of metal and how to work with it and shape it. So he was the right guy to go to, but even he had never built a bike before. So I did a bit of the theory and the research myself, read up on the dynamics of a motorcycle, what materials to use as far as the frame construction went, what were the basic parameters as far as ground clearance, wheelbase, having a rake angle in there, what kind of trail, what effect would that have on the dynamism of the bike, Would it be more agile? Would it corner well or stay steady in a straight line? So that was my first build. There was a lot of learning that time, and it was just super exciting, very eventful. We were going wrong 90% times more than we were going right. So it taught us a lot, and 6 months later we had a bike ready in front of us. The real moving part about the original Gangster was that people who didn't understand bikes, or people who didn't come from motorcycles, even like my aunts or like my buas and my masis, and even if they saw that bike, irrespective of the fact that I had built that bike, it looked beautiful to them. So there was something right about that bike, whether it was the lines of the bike, the proportions of that whole bike together, and that spurred me on for the next 2 years at least to take this up seriously, not go to my media job waiting for me in Bombay, and try and do this as a profession. And here I am 10-11 years later, still building bikes. Very happy. Project BA was the most extensive Royal Enfield project that we've done so far. In essence, it was a 500cc unit construction engine again. So we had just the block, and we went about building a whole frame around it. It was aesthetically very pleasing frame. It had a lot of layering of metal on it, reinforcements at the neck, at the rear swing arm, even where the down tubes meet with the rail. So the frame itself looked really nice. Since it was a blank canvas, since we only had an engine to play with, we could build a Springer to whatever size, height and rake angle we wanted. Accordingly, we set up the whole frame. It had a stockish gas tank, but again with twin caps on it. It had a lot of metal work on the frame, on the oil box, on the handlebar, gas tank, you name it. So Project BA took us about over a year to do, I'd say a year and a half to do, because it was just so much work. But at the end of the day, I'd say all the man-hours that were put into it came to fruition, where we could actually see a bike that stood its own ground, even though it was just a single cylinder. We created a synergy for itself, where it was fully custom, it was still the stock block, but it had its own charm. Jordar was a bike, it's a Harley 883. By the name itself, it means, like most people like to say Zordar, but here in Rajasthan we twist our Zs for our Js. The whole build process took us about a year and a half to complete. So, the first time we did it in two different phases. So the first phase took about 6 months, and that's when we took it to IBW for the first time. And then the bike came back to us, and then we worked on it another 3 or 4 months after that. And then it was given to a client, which was resold a few years later. And then it was even further bedazzled and embellished with more details and Damascus, and we made a few more adjustments to that bike. So it's always been a work in progress. We've always been improving upon that bike. To talk about the bike generally, it was a complete build from scratch. It was the first Harley we did where we actually ripped out the engine, when we just sat with an 883 block, and we went about to create a whole frame around it. The first Harley to be chopped was Rajmata, but that was still only a halfway customization. Jordar was the first one. We built a whole frame. We built the front linkage suspension. It was a boomerang fork. It only worked about 2.5 inches, but it looked great. The bike just looks like a sled, like if Santa Claus was a badass, he'd probably ride that. And then that's what emphasizes the name again, Jordar, just amazing. So it was badass to look at, badass to ride. The bike speaks for itself. You see Damascus on it, you see silver engraving on it, you see nice lines, good proportions, and it's got this whole stance where it looks like it's in motion even when it's standing still. So that has been, I'd say, the highlight or the peak of our work, or the hardest project that we've ever taken on.